All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are other mediums on which you can enjoy this content. Rumble, RSS.com, Spotify. Um, and my favorite way, though, is for you to go to the blog because the blog has all the articles and the videos. You could follow along if you'd like. All right. And yeah, so nothing fun on this one, just a bunch of serious words, but good though. Some tying of the well, not yet. We gotta go through Tuesday. We gotta get to the what is it? Council of Ministers meeting to see what's going to happen next. But anyway, so let me just say what's the other thing. Okay, yes, so the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, but that's too much to type in, too much to remember. So wherever you are engaging with this content, look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. Click that, another box opens or something, depending on where you are, and you click that link and it'll take you to the blog, the free blog. You don't have to put your email in, and I'm not selling anything. And then you're right there and you can follow along with me. As always, a thumbs up is appreciated and it's free, right? All right. So it's Saturday, September 7th. This will probably be it's early enough where if I don't dilly dally, it should be the 7th. Oh, and I'm just baffled by that game, that Ravens Bills game. Oh, I still anyway, all right, but that's why we love football, right? Because and let me just tell you, a friend of mine, well, lots of friends of mine, they live on the East Coast. And this is a newer lady. She didn't know that I liked football. And she said, "Oh, who's your favorite team?" Da, da, da. And she said, "But don't remind me right now that her team is the Bills." Yeah, that's her team. She said, "But I'm going to go to sleep now, and I know when I wake up in the morning, they're going to be the winners." And I just laughed, right? But now I'm just thinking, imagine when she wakes up in the morning and they are the winners. Oh, that's going to be so funny, right? Anyway, all right. Okay, so now maybe I can focus. Now that I've vented, I'll be able to focus. All right, so from cash chaos to digital future, Iraq's banking revolution. And I thought this was so interesting that they had the building. Look at this building. Because on TV today, they ran, there's a whole like 35-minute documentary on this CBI building alone. Probably because it was designed by a woman, a architect, architect, woman. I do believe she has passed now, but so they were showing that they show the plans and then the builders and everything. So I think it's done. I think it is done. But yeah, so I just thought how interesting. And look, it looks like it's in a neighborhood. And look at their sign. 40, what, they probably go by kilometers, huh? Right? So yeah, imagine that in your building, in your neighborhood. But anyway, so yeah, all right. So this is the Iraqi banking sector is undergoing a pivotal phase marked by comprehensive reform. We've heard that before, right? All year long, we've been hearing that. And institutional development. The central bank, in collaboration with private banks, the government, and the global consulting firm Oliver Wyman, is implementing a strategic plan aimed at enhancing financial stability, diversifying the economy, and gradually transitioning from a cash to a digital economy. So I think they have given up on expecting the people to just come in and just be totally gung ho about this digital thing, right? So because we're seeing that word gradual or gradually a little bit more in the articles now. So, and I mean, I don't know. It's always so, like, they didn't do all this testing and experimenting when they went back to the rate, to the currency that they use now. They didn't do all this testing and this and that, and then the debit cards. I don't think they did all that testing and everything for the debit cards. They were just like, here, you have some money, the key cards, right? For those of you who were here, they're like, here, you're gonna use this card now. You have some money on this card, right? They act like it's going to be so hard for them to adapt. They're not dumb. They're waiting. They're waiting for what they've been promised, purchasing power and the rate and the new money they've been being promised since like forever. 2018 at least, right? So, yeah, if they're waiting for the people to come rushing in with their money, they should give up on that, right? I mean, I know they're not going to, so how come they don't? And then they had another person, another executive or banking person got arrested for, stealing. What's the white collar word for stealing? Embezzlement. Okay, but they don't use embezzlement. They use something else. But that's what it is. So all of that doesn't help, right? Okay, so here, pivotal stage. So these are different people speaking. So here they have Mustafa Hantush. In this section, tangible progress is Samir Al-Nusari. Productive sectors is still Al-Nusari. So if you read this, it's saying where they were, where they are now, and see the focus for through 2028. And they admit they want it there. They aim to move the people from cash to digital by withdrawing funds circulating outside the banking cycle, which constitutes approximately 80% of the money, and integrating them into the banking system. So those are the people that are still doing cash business and have the cash in their homes. And then evaluation and classification, reform plan. So, nothing new. We have the plan. We know the plan. Is it going to be implemented or activated before October? I don't know. That I don't know. Right? That's, if I did know, I sure wouldn't be up here broke like this, right? Oh, I wanted to show you guys, speaking of that, I'm just going to tell you, there's 3 at least that I know, and I think they're all on the same channel. They're AI videos, but they say, oh, certified in the Iraqi Gazette, the rate, but don't believe any of that. I check the Gazette every day, at least 3 times a day. If there was something in there, I would share it. But also keep in mind, the Gazette is for laws. It's not for the rate change. They devalued twice now since I've been following this. Neither time when they devalued did they put it in the Gazette, because the Gazette is for a law, like the budget law in total, that would be put in the Gazette, and there is a rate in there. So when they approved this tripartite budget in 2023, right? 23, 24, 20, yeah. When they approved it, it was in the Gazette. It had a budget, but the budget was what? 1310, I think it was. Either 1310 or 1320. So don't believe those things. Don't even watch them. I mean, I hate to say that, and they're real slick about the wording, because people send it to me and I'm like, don't even waste your time. So one of them I actually listened to, and I said, if you could hear what you want to hear, right? if you're not listening carefully, they have masterfully put the words together where it's not totally false marketing or whatever, but it's not totally accurate either, right? So slippery slope and roller coaster and all of that. So just stay away from those. When they have those really spectacular thumbnails, like 589 chase confirmed, right? Or I know you saw the one that they put the president there. They had the president's face. I think his whole body actually. Yeah, so just stay away from those. They'll just get you, you know, yeah, whatever. So I meant to pull them up, but I don't even want to show them because then those of you who don't know those channels, then you'll go there and you'll listen. I know you. I know you. So yeah, so it's probably best that I don't. But anyway, yeah, if there's anything in the Gazette, I would post it because I know, people are looking for that. Okay, now this is a good development. So the Parliamentary Finance Committee will host the Minister of Planning and Finance, which is Miss Sammy Aaliyah Locke, and officials in the relevant departments in the coming days. Now, will we find anything out from that? I doubt it. But they were in a meeting. I don't know what the meeting was for, and I don't know who headed the meeting because they showed it on TV. It wasn't Sadani. It wasn't the oil minister. I'm not sure who it was, but Miss Sammy was there and Aaliyah Locke was there. So maybe in the articles tomorrow, maybe it'll show, it'll tell me who was at that meeting. All right, let's see. Now, Sudani responds to the Kurdistan region government on the issue of salaries, but this isn't the one. Okay, yeah. So there's a report. Sudani met with the region, right? The Kurds. And I guess they griped about what they want to gripe about. He got a report Sudani got a report that has both sides of, the notes of the meetings. So Tuesday, they'll have the Council of Ministers meeting. But here, what does the report contain? If you want to read that, you can. Well, I put it there so you could freeze that and read that. But, the same thing. Non-oil revenue, oil revenue, custom money, 50% of their, 50% of their non-oil money. Talk about this Article 51 of financial management law, all of that, right? All of that super exciting stuff. What you need to know, nothing. The guy says there's a lot of progress. Okay, yeah. All right, here's my one commercial. Oh, it looks weird. Something looks, it's not centered. Oh well, whatever. The words are the same, so if you'd like to support my FX buddies, which is me, Tish, see, that's as evidenced by my Cash App name and my PayPal name, then when this is a live blog, the Buy Me a Coffee link is a live link. So big or small, I appreciate it all. Thank you in advance for your generosity. Ding! All right, so here is, so they did pay. They paid, oh yeah, we talked about that yesterday. They did pay some people's salaries. Actually, some people got paid 2 months. They decided to throw in something from 2024, one of the months from 2024, in July. I mean, I'm sure they were happy to get it, but like, what? And then also, Sudani released some of the promotions and bonuses. So they must be doing some work somewhere out of some budget and figuring, okay, we can release this much, right? And because they have that, they didn't make remember one year they made a budget, I think it was supposed to pay for some food or something, or agriculture, and it got passed and everything, And then they didn't even end up spending all the money until like later. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it's not that. They have an operational budget, they have an investment project budget, and there's one other one that we know of, right? They probably have others. But anyway, the regional finance department, which is Kurdistan, is dissatisfied with the commercial bank for its delay in disbursing employees' salaries. So they waited till after the fact. But I do kind of like this because the trade bank is uh, federal, right? It's based, that's what the I in it is Iraq. It's the trade bank of Iraq. And they don't hold up anyone else's money, but they seem to hold up the Kurds quite a bit. So if I'm a Kurd, I'm liking that my government is at least giving an appearance of standing up for me, right? So, ooh, that's big. Why is that so big? Well, whatever. SOMO, which is, I can never remember, State Oil something something. But that's the third, oh yeah, there it is, State Oil Marketing Organization. That's the third party. That's the go-between between the Kurds and Baghdad, which is like every day they have to come out and say, we are not smuggling. No, that was not us. We were not the ones caught smuggling. No, we are not mixing Iraq's oil with Iran's oil and calling it Iraq's oil. So I'm thinking they probably did get caught doing that, right? And so now they have to keep trying to um, confirm or affirm that no, we're clean. Yeah, right. But anyway, so this is another one that doesn't have any new information. I'm not sure why. It's just another interview. Um, but it has older information, right? It talks about the Paris court, not the Paris Club agreement. Something happened with Turkey and Baghdad, and the court that handled it was in Paris. So they even brought that in, right? So there's a lot here, but like I said, nothing new. But they stressed we have not received a single barrel of oil from the region yet, and they're not going to until the region feels satisfied that they're going to be paid the back pay that's owed and a mechanism for how they're going to get paid in the future, right? Yeah, so I'm not sure why that is out, but now this came out. This was the most recent article, maybe 7 hours ago, and it's also from Samo. Baghdad and Erbil have a good understanding on oil exports. So he was saying, yes, they agreed to reduce from 400,000 to 230,000, but we know that. And something else, but the fact that he said that, and then later that article came out that I just read you about Sadani admitting he has the report from the two meetings. So I'm hoping we will get an answer on Tuesday. Tuesday, they have the Council of Ministers meeting, and he'll probably take that report to them and discuss it with them, and maybe we'll get a ruling. Okay, this is a report. Oh, and I also wanted to show you. So it's John Harris, CEO of British Gulf Keystone. They're one of the Epicor groups. And there's someone else in here. They're just giving their feelings. Someone must have interviewed them about we're still waiting. But see this TRT World? It's a report from them, and Iraq ran it in their news so people could read it. A report by TRT World News website discussed Turkey's aspirations for success on the ongoing negotiations to resume oil. But also he wants to talk about new. Remember, he wants new deals. He wants in on the development road project. And when they do start pumping, he wants to pump at full capacity. But none of that is new either. All right, so I wanted to show you this. So this is, oh shoot, you're not going to be able to see it. I keep forgetting that. Well, it's a Reuters report, but the link is TradingView. It's on TradingView. So I'm like, why is TradingView holding articles about oil, the oil in Iraq and Kurdistan? Because everyone is watching this, right? And then there's another, oh, doggone it. Well, let me see. Here we go here. No, there's another one. Here. The world's surprise boomtown, Baghdad. But this is an article in The Economist. Oh, you know what? I wonder. And remember, I just paid them, what, $1.50 for an article? Do you guys remember that? So I'm going to see if I can pay $1.50 for this one too. But this is a different, so see The Economist, because they used to be like $12. I used to actually subscribe to The Economist, but now they're like $22, $25. But yeah, so the world's surprise boomtown, Baghdad. Iraq's population has grown by 20 million since America's, yeah, that word starts with an I. But see, continue with a free trial. But I didn't get, because I already used a free trial. Somehow they let me have that one article. But it says, cranes sprout above the Baghdad skyline. The shriek of electric saws echoes across the city. Under the heavy summer sun, workers lay a new pavement outside a chic fromagerie. Fromagerie. I'm sure that's a French word, right? Baghdad is enjoying a construction boom. Iraq looks remarkably stable, and that is drawing foreign investors and shaping its capital. So yeah, that sounds really good. I would really love to read that. But anyway, so we'll see. If I can get it, I will. All right. Let's check the rate since we're over here. Let's see. Forex is 1281. All right. The Google 1307. Okay. So now we'll go back and finish the boring stuff. So yeah, if you want to read that, it shows history, right? History of how these international oil companies got involved with Iraq's oil. So here, Sudani announces its position on the committee's report and Kurdish salaries. So this one's much shorter. This one, I'll put the 3 asterisks. So if you want to read it for yourself, rather than read that longer one where the words were really big, I don't know why. In post-production, I'll put 3 asterisks right here. And if I can really make it fancy, I'll make them red, okay? So then you'll know you could read this short article right here. And this is the most recent information. So the Iraqi Prime Minister met with the Iraqi government's negotiating delegation and welcomed the joint document between Erbil and Baghdad. Iraq Prime Minister Sudani met with Iraq's government negotiating Baghdad on Sunday to discuss the distribution of revenue between Erbil and Baghdad. The Iraqi delegation has handed over the joint document prepared with the Kurdistan delegation to Sudani Kurdish Workers' Party, media reported. A senior Iraqi government official said Sudani had received the report from the delegation, liked it, and said he would read it and answer with his position. One paragraph left. According to the news, the meeting was also attended by a senior Sudani advisor who is a legal man, a legal expert. His attitude so far in the negotiations with Erbil has been good. All right. And then here's another one. A condition hinders the Baghdad-Erbil agreement and al-Sudani awaits a decision. The only one condition that is still obstructing the agreement is they're blaming the finance minister, but I doubt it's her decision alone. But this is the latest addition. They want 50% of their it says non-federal, but usually it says non-oil revenues. So that's a new thing that we know of, right? Everything else there's nothing new here except that part. Here is Steve Lutz. U.S. companies are ready to support economic diversification in Kurdistan. So I don't know if he was there. If you can see in this picture, it says U.S. Iraq Business Council delegation to Erbil. So I'm thinking since the U.S. is first, they're probably here in the U.S., right? And it's in English. So if you'd like to read his interview, so they met with local business people who would like to open their business in Erbil and invest. So I'd like to do that if I had that kind of business. Okay, so these last two articles are, well, this is the last one. I feel safe talking about this one. And there's more than just this one. Iraqi, who is Iranian, he's the Iranian foreign minister. He's been saying, hey, yeah, remember I talked about this because I said it's funny how he went to China and then he came back and he was like, oh yeah, we'll lower our enrichment requirement, right? But you have to lift sanctions off of us. So that again, and I like that they are repeating this because that means that they're still saying that. You know what I mean? If this falls out of the news, then I think it means they've changed their mind. I don't know, maybe I'm just I was gonna say maybe I'm silly, but I am silly. So maybe I'm just putting my dinar goggles on, right? But that's usually how it works. Yeah. So but these two have to deal with let me see, ham, and there's two letters after that. And they are a group of I don't want to say, but not nice people that's how we feel, right? Our government thinks this group. And there's evidence, right, that maybe they're not the nicest people, but they are ready to sit down immediately at the negotiating table to discuss the release of all prisoners in exchange for a clear declaration of an end to the aggressive maneuvers or the conflict. 3-letter word starts with a W, right? So I didn't mention that, and I have been seeing this for about a week. So someone is, there's indirect, right? Well, you know what? Our guy did go over there. What's his name? Witwicky. I always call him Witwicky. Witkoff. He did go to the strip, right? So maybe they were meeting. Well, whatever. This is good. It's good that they are saying that. I mean, people say things all the time. And then here, the US president, I warned them about the consequences of not accepting a deal, and this is my final warning. So that comes out, and he's talking to both sides. He said that to Ice Cream Land first. So, yeah. So, what are we gonna look for this week? Well, of course, we're gonna look for a rate change, right? But definitely Tuesday, we'll look to see if there is an outcome from the turkey oil, right? After the Council of Ministers meeting, I'll be watching to see if there is a ceasefire among those because that would be huge. Maybe not even for the RV, but just for life, period, right? I was hoping to hear something from Aaliyah Locke today, but there wasn't. Just that the one article that I used as the star article. But everything's good. There's no steps backward. We're still in a good place. It's nice that people are calling them stable, right? That's good. Stable and secure. Yeah. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, thumbs up on your way out. But you don't have to leave either. If you missed yesterday's Dish episode, a little box is going to pop up soon. You could just click on that box and it will play. But if you do have to go, you have to go. But I will say, accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Thank you again for support and comments, and you guys are just great and very encouraging. So enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're indulging in this content. And until next time, which I'm pretty sure will be tomorrow.